Instead of suffering through the YouTube chat, click like and subscribe. All right, we got to talk about this Raw show, and I think the notable thing about Raw was that they clearly are trying to build the Raw after SummerSlam as a big thing. They mentioned it several times. It's the Raw after SummerSlam. They had several championship matches, including a world title match. Shitty finish, but they did the match.
But none of these, like they had a bunch of matches, but none of them were anything special at all. There was a lot of, there was, some angle stuff. Obviously Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella are going to wrestle for the Intercontinental title, maybe in France, maybe, that one felt like a pay-per-view.
Well, yeah, because they shot an angle for a match, but then Becky is doing a match with somebody else on TV next week, so that one for sure is being saved for a pay-per-view.
Right, and we know the Stephanie Vaquer and Naomi is going to be on pay-per-view, even though Naomi's wrestling Io next week on Raw. So actually, technically, the winner of Naomi
the winner, yeah,
will defend against, but somehow I'm pretty sure Naomi's winning that one, or getting past that one. Maybe there's a DQ or something. They're certainly not adverse to cheap ways out of matches these last couple of weeks.
No.
Yeah.
All right, so the show opened up with Seth coming out as the new champion to celebrate with the crew, and Bronson still had Roman's shoes around his neck. He actually stole a second pair of shoes at the end of the show here. He is now the tribal thief. And Braun Breaker.
And he's got the Shufala.
Yep, the Shufala. Yeah. Paul said that Braun Breaker is the future of WWE. And he buried Roman. He buried Punk. Said that Punk had one of the best title matches in history. And he reveled in the fact that Seth stole the title from him before
he did, but it was like 14 years ago.
Yes. So then Seth shamed the fans for booing him and demanded they never doubt him again, and said, shame on everybody in the locker room. I always have a plan B. I only told two people in the world, he said, my hot, beautiful wife and the Oracle. Which actually was a lie, because he did do an interview today where he claimed that he lied to everybody in his immediate family, except he told his daughter.
And his daughter told her her first grade teacher.
What teacher. A noob this guy is.
Yeah,
God.
Told the teacher.
First thing she did was tell the teacher.
Right, but the teacher did keep it quiet.
Who's she going to tell? You?
John Pollock. I don't know. Maybe that's who called John Pollock.
Maybe it is.
No.
Except she didn't know till afterwards.
She didn't know till afterwards.
He knew. Someone knew before, yeah.
They would have, yeah. Well, hey, the writing team, enough people on the writing team knew because they had a freaking card. By the way, that match with Seth and LA Knight, I don't know if I told you this, but on the original card, they were considering, it was like an asterisk, there. They were considering Seth and LA Knight in a title match on the Sunday show, where, he would win the title on Saturday and defend it on Sunday. And instead of putting it on Sunday, they decided to put it on Raw tonight with no advertising. But that match was also always scheduled to happen with Seth defending against LA Knight this week. So, that was planned, at least several weeks beforehand. It's been quite the weird day, with all these people talking about how nobody knew. I mean, I went on all day Sunday. It was like people telling me everybody knew. Then all day Monday, it's nobody knew, nobody at all.
Well, if we're going by reality, I think everybody knew. I mean, if we're being honest here, I don't think anybody except absolute. I shouldn't say that, but some people don't pay that close attention. But if you're paying any attention whatsoever, you knew.
Yeah. Well, so the thing is so I was like, okay, so this one really amazed me. Ariel Helwani was on his show, and he talked about what a surprise, and I didn't know. And well, I did not talk to Ariel Helwani, but he is friends with John Pollock. But I did not talk to him. Okay. However, his the Uncrowned, right? That's the name of his thing, right? They interviewed me whatever it was, Tuesday, Wednesday after, the thing. And I said, okay, it's a work. I basically said, You should, if you really want to know, call John Pollock. Which actually, what's funny is I don't even want to get into this, but so it's like he's out there saying like he didn't know, and it's like I did an interview with his site explaining it all. So like, I don't know. That just baffled me. Where I was surprised, I didn't know, and it's just like, dude, and it's like you guys called me. I mean, it wasn't like I said, it wasn't Ariel, but you guys called me and you asked me like, what the hell's going on? And I said, so that was weird. There was like another person that I remember that week. It just popped into my head who was just like, whatever. And I just go, you know what? And he knows John Pollock too. And I go, why don't you call John Pollock? I don't give a shit, what you think. And he was all mad at me for saying that, like, because he knew, it's real, because all the guys backstage, they all told me it was real, and everyone knows it's real, and none of the writers knew, and all this. And I go like, hey, some of the writers knew. I mean, a lot of them didn't, but some of them did. And then it was like, I go, why don't you just call John Pollock? I will not call John Pollock. And it's just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Why are you fighting with me? And you don't even want to know, and I'm already telling you. And I go like, it's like, it's just your opinion, or, I don't believe your opinion. And I go, this is not an opinion. It's scripted weeks ahead. But anyway, this was, so in that sense, there was a lot of, it's like, I felt that there was a lot of weirdness in this one, and a lot of people who just like, you're a liar and this and that on this one. It's like, dude, this is an open and shut. There's one stuff you debate. But yeah, everybody knew. But anyway, on TV, of course, should he go out there and say, I fooled you, nobody knew? Of course he should say that. Of course he should. That's pro wrestling. He's supposed to say that. I'm not saying that they should have rescripted that or anything like that.
Have you grabbed your F4WOnline.com shirt yet? Well, we got a bunch of them. They're up in the store right now. F4WOnline.com/shirts. You can grab your -5 stars shirt, your Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer shirts, even the brand new After Dark Radio shirt. You love Granny? We have Granny's Gang shirts. Have you ever won a shoot battle royal? Probably not, but you can tell people you did. So check out the store. All of these great shirts and more. It's through Pro Wrestling Tees. F4WOnline.com/shirts. That's F4WOnline.com/shirts.